Good morning. This is our daily lectionary readings for Friday, September 15th, 2023. The weekend is upon us. We are looking ahead about what's going to be happening at church on Sunday. Our psalm reading, once again, is Psalm 103, 8 through 13. Our Old Testament reading remains in Genesis. We skip up a few chapters here to chapter 41, verse 53, through chapter 42, verse 17. And then our New Testament reading today comes from the book of Acts, chapter 7, verses 9 through 16. We will read it from the Message once again. And here we are, Psalm 103. God makes everything come out right. He puts victims back on their feet. He showed Moses how he went about his work, opened up his plans to all of Israel. God is sheer mercy and grace, not easily angered. He's rich in love. He doesn't endlessly nag and scold, nor hold grudges forever. He doesn't treat us as our sins deserve, nor pays us back in full for our wrongs. As high as heaven is over the earth, so strong is his love to those who fear him. And as far as sunrise is from sunset, he has separated us from our sins. As a parent feels for his children, God feels for those who fear him. He knows us inside and out, keeps in mind that we are made of mud. Men and women don't live very long. Like wildflowers, they spring up and blossom, but in a storm snuffs them out just as quickly, leaving nothing to show that they were here. God's love, though, is ever and always eternally present to all who fear him, making everything right for them and their children as they follow his covenant always and remember to do whatever he says. Our Old Testament reading picks up in Genesis 41, verse 53, and continues through chapter 42, verse 17. Then Egypt's 7 good years came to an end, and the 7 years of famine arrived, just as Joseph had said. All countries experienced famine. Egypt was the only country that had bread. When the famine spread throughout Egypt, the people called out in distress to Pharaoh, calling for bread. He told the Egyptians, "Go to Joseph. Do what he tells you." As the famine got worse all over the country, Joseph opened the storehouses and sold emergency supplies to the Egyptian. The famine was very bad. Soon the whole world was coming to buy supplies from Joseph. The famine was bad all over. When Jacob learned that there was food in Egypt, he said to his sons, "Why do you sit around here and look at one another? I've heard that there is food in Egypt. Go down there and buy some so that we can survive and not starve to death." 10 of Joseph's brothers went down to Egypt to get food. Jacob didn't send Joseph's brother Benjamin with them. He was afraid that something bad might happen to him. So Israel's sons joined everyone else that was going to Egypt to buy food, for Canaan too was hit hard by the famine. Joseph was running the country. He was the one who gave out ratios and to all of the people. When Joseph's brothers arrived, they treated him with honor, bowing to him. Joseph recognized them immediately, but treated them as strangers and spoke roughly to them. He said, "Where do you come from?" "From Canaan," they said. "We've come to buy some food." Joseph knew who they were, but they didn't know who he was. Joseph, remembering the dreams he had dreamed of them, said, "You're spies. You've come to look for our weak spots." "No, master," they said. "We've only come to buy food. We're all the sons of the same man. We're honest men. We'd never think of spying." He said, "No, you're spies. You've come to look for our weak spots." They said, "There were 12 of us brothers. sons of the same father in the country of Canaan. The youngest is with our father, and one is no more." But Joseph said, "It's just as I said. You are spies. This is how I'll test you. As Pharaoh lives, you're not going to leave this place until your younger brother comes here. Send one of you to get your brother, while the rest of you stay here in jail. We'll see if you're telling the truth or not. As Pharaoh lives, I say, you're spies." Then he threw them in jail for 3 days. Our New Testament reading comes from the book of Acts, chapter 7, verses 9 through 16. But then those fathers, burning up with jealousy, sent Joseph off to Egypt as a slave. God was right there with him, though he had not rescued him from all the troubles, but brought to you the attention of Pharaoh, king of Egypt. He was so impressed with Joseph that he put him in charge of the whole country, including his own personal affairs. Later, a famine descended on that region, stretching from Egypt to Canaan, bringing terrific hardship. Our hungry fathers looked high and low for food, but the cupboards was bare. Jacob had heard that there was food in Egypt and sent our fathers to scout it out. Having confirmed the report, they went back to Egypt a second time to get food. On that visit, Joseph revealed his true identity to his brothers and introduced the Jacob family to Pharaoh. Then Joseph sent for his father Jacob and everyone else in the family, 75 in all. That's how the Jacob family got to Egypt. Jacob died, and our fathers after him. They were taken to Shechem and buried in the tomb for which Abraham paid a good price to the sons of Hamor. And here ends our readings for the day.